Hey guys, so I'm back. I tried to go on YouTube, but YouTube just didn't want to see me be great on today because it was meant for me to hop back on live here so I can do my collective reading here before I prepare for rest. Okay? So let's get into it. As I said on my video earlier, obviously there are a lot of things coming to the surface right now during this time with this full moon in Aquarius energy, okay? There are aspects of us, of ourselves, aspects of our personality, parts of our spirit that are rising up to the surface, crying out, whether that be good, bad, ugly, beautiful, whatever it is. There's a lot of things coming up to the surface, rising to the surface, feelings that you thought you had put to rest, things and parts of you that you thought had died. Okay, coming back up. All right, for some of us, we're going to have to address those things and say, oh, no, you got to go, you got to die, you got to be buried, you got to be released. And then there are other parts of us that are coming up and it's like, when are you going to let me live? When can I live? When can I be great? What did you forget about me? That inner part of you, that inner self, that aspiration, that dream, that vision that you had that died. When can I come out and be great? So that's my question to you. What is rising up to the surface for you right now during this time? What parts of you are you finding yourself revisiting? What scenarios are you revisiting? What are you manifesting continuously? What are you manifesting that you no longer desire to manifest? You want to see yourself on the opposite end of the spectrum, whether that be you want to see yourself living a prosperous life rather than feeling depleted, right? Whether you want to see yourself in a wealthy space versus in a state of poverty, whether you want to see yourself in a positive mentality versus a negative. What is it for you? And it's funny that this card's on the bottom because a lot of us, we having these thoughts and these ideas and we're in these areas and these surroundings that it's time for us to get our shit, get our ideas, get our things, excuse my language, and get out of Dodge, okay? Not your circus, not your monkeys, time to go. So it's no coincidence that that card was right there. But, so I'm going to do this reading again as a collective message. A message for the collective, a general message. Again, with these, if it resonates with you, wonderful, great. That means that we are in tune and alignment. If this doesn't resonate with you, meaning that, you don't get it, you're not trying to get it, it ain't for you to get. And that's okay too. Plenty of, other readers and stuff online you can tap into. As a matter of fact, tap into your own intuition, which is what you should be doing when I read these cards to you anyways. Okay? Look at this. It's some old ideas that need these old ideas and these old bondages that need to be released. What's up, Bridget? I ain't never seen you on here when I've done a live tarot card reading, so it's good to have you on here. So what I'm about to do right now is just do a quick reading for this time and this space. So maybe as I go and as I read, if you have something in mind that you're thinking about, an issue that you find yourself revisiting, a conversation you find yourself having again, a scenario that is playing out again that you've already seen before, but this time it's different because you are different. Well, we're going to pull the cards and see, how should we deal with this energy, or what is the energy this playing out right now that we need to deal with, okay? What's up, Michelle? Hey, honey. Yeah, so again, we're going to see what is it that's rising to the surface within us as a society, within us as a community, within us as a culture, within us as a people, within us as family members, within us in our relationships, in our business endeavors, in our careers, in any system that we are a part of. Our emotional system, our spiritual systems, our internal systems, our external systems. What are the triggers that we are experiencing? What are the traumas that we are revisiting? What are the triumphs that we are revisiting, reliving, replaying, seeing manifest? What are the things that are coming to the surface? What are the parts and aspects of ourselves that are rising up and saying, hey, you're not going to forget about me. No, you're going to deal with me. You're going to do something about me. You're going to hear my voice. It's parts and aspects of ourselves that are rising up, and it's time for us to release the things that have caused us heartbreak, the thoughts that we're having. This could be different individuals in your life right now that have caused you heartache, and you are ready to release that. You're ready to let all that shit go. That means it's time for forgiveness. That means it's time for us to take what once hurt our heart and allow it to you know, propel us and to heal others and, you know, to keep that energy moving, because whatever happened to you happened for a reason, right? And, you know, maybe there could have been some heartbreak, but, or maybe, you know, through heartbreak, you know, you're going to be able to understand what it means to have this reason to celebrate, reason to, you know, rejoice, okay? So a lot of us, we got a lot of tears that have been, you know, sown into, you know, that are going to help us reap and manifest the blessing. You know, the tears watered something in our heart. Those tears, that pain is going to serve us well. We didn't go through all that for nothing, right? Parts and gifts and talents that we have been suppressing, that it's time, that shit keeps rising to the surface. Every time you see somebody speak about, every time you see the fire in somebody else moving and flowing, you start feeling the fire within you moving and flowing. You start feeling your light rekindled when you see certain lights. You start feeding off the energy of what resonates within you, right? What's coming up to the surface for us? Ooh, Chariot popping out. Chariot popping out. Forward movement, action that's taking place. Okay, being able to manifest, having the tools to manifest. The thing about the magician is he has everything he needs to manifest. He has it within his reach. He has it within himself to move forward and to make sure that all of these systems are going to work according to his plan, according to his intention. Many different parts coming together, moving forward according to your intention, according to the way you feel, according to a decision that you had to make, right? So let's see. What information do you have for us, angels, ancestors, spirit guides? What information do you have for us as it pertains to our greatest and our highest good? What is the lesson to be learned through this energy that is available to us right now? What is the lesson to be learned about this energy available to us right now? Give us 3 cards. Tell a story. Show us. Paint the picture. Make it clear. And let it be clear to us. 1, 2, yeah, 3. Okay, this is what it is, you guys. We got the Lover's card. And then we have the Tower. And then we have the 3 of Wands in reverse. In order for us to manifest the love that it is that we are desiring, something that we have built up with our own hands, ideas, belief systems, things that we have manifested and created with our intention, right? These are things that we have tangibly built. These are human things. These are things that are important to humanity. These are things that are man-made structures that have been taken down by the universe, okay? By God, by the gods, by the powers that be, by power bigger, broader, more expansive than what humanity can build. These things have been brought down, okay? And see, these things that have been brought down, you know, you were at, see how these two are together. This is about a decision, right, that needed to be made, right? Stepping from one phase to another. When you see the Tower card forward, it's talking about something being brought down. But when you see it in reverse, it's about not wanting or not allowing it to be brought down, okay? Struggling with the fact that this phase has to end. In order to achieve this, there are things and parts of you that you've built, ideas you've built, belief systems, structures, things you've built with your hands that have to come down, and you have to be able to step into this newness, release, walk through this door, through this gateway, and keep moving forward. In order to be able to have the love that it is that we desire, right? We have this desire for new, but yet we don't want to allow the universe to destroy what needs to be destroyed in order for us to move forward. We are being resistant and not acknowledging the fact that we have built things that weren't meant to last. They were meant to last a season for a reason. And the fact that lightning is striking it and bringing it down, you have no choice but to release it. Hey, April, thanks for joining. And then here he is. You know, he's been able to come to he's experienced a certain level of victory in his walk, right? Say, you know, when you're in that Two of Wands space, you know, you're feeling partnerships, you're feeling fire, you're feeling newfound, you're ready to you're looking and expecting more, right? So say once you decide, you know, once you're expecting more, making the decision on which way you want to go, you decide you're going to go that way, right? Well, the Three of Wands has decided to turn his back on what was familiar and to move on into this newness, moving forward, turning his back on what no longer serves him, what is old or just ready. I've already made a decision to pursue. You've turned your back, you're pursuing now. Well, again, when it's backwards or when it's in reverse, you are struggling with the idea and the concept of the fact that it's time to move forward. It's time to turn your back on something and to let it go. These two cards hand in hand with this aspect here may be referring to the fact that maybe your idea of love isn't in agreement with what the universe has in mind for you. Maybe what once was your idea of love, that has to come down, and you might be struggling with the fact that it's time to abandon that old belief, that old idea, and receive the universe's, God's idea, the angels, your ancestral DNA, your genetic coding to be great. That stuff in the talent, the light that's in you that is created, that is put in you to shine, to have that abundance, to be able to have that duality and be able to express yourself freely. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand that sometimes our ideas and ways and plans of that manifesting may not necessarily be what we probably have worked our whole life and thought it might be. You know, maybe who knows how long it took for this tower to be built. But how long did it take for it to come crashing down? Perhaps you weren't ready for that. But at the end of the day, what God decides, what the universe decides to destroy, it is an opportunity for something to be rebuilt. So perhaps you should change the way that you view something that's come to an end. View it as a new opportunity has arrived for me to create from scratch what it is that I see and feel within my heart that most closely resonates with who God says that I am, with the universe's idea, with my higher purpose, with my angelic God divine self, what it defines as a loving, plentiful, abundant life. You know, a prosperous life. To be in alignment with this energy is going to require for you to surrender your plan, surrender your idea of what it was going to be. And, you know, if you're going to move forward, if you're going to turn your back and keep it moving. Keep it moving. You know, let your no be no, let your yes be yes. What do you need to surrender in order to have the love it is that you desire? Because the love is available. That flow, that dynamic that you're looking for, that energy is available to us. It's unfamiliar to a lot of us. A lot of us, our idea came crashing down and we like, damn, okay, I'm starting from scratch. Well, it's new, but when it's this kind of thing, this kind of a divine thing, then, you know, you need to go with this newness and walk into it and don't fight it. Don't resist it. What is it that we are struggling with to release? Ooh, what is it that we're struggling with? These three came out. The fact of the matter is we need to realize that we are seeking something. What we are seeking is actually a light that we have within our own self, okay? The thing that we are seeking is within us. We're seeking that inner guidance. We're seeking the inner knowing, that illumination from within to guide our path in darkness, to guide our path whenever, okay? You're seeking something. You're seeking a light that you already possess. And you're going to realize that when you take the time to meditate and consider what brings you peace. What visualize it. What does it feel like to light your own way? What does it feel like to pursue newness, fulfillment, to pursue your 10 of cups, although you may have 8, but something in you says, I got 2 more to go. I got 2 more to get. Look, there's the moon right there. There's the moon again, okay? The moon has been so bright, bringing up so much, revealing so much. And what it is revealing is the fact that this love that we are seeking, this love that we are seeking is going to be made known to us when we take the time and meditate on and consider what's most important to us, what feels best to us, sit in it, what feels best to us, what can we call home, where can we lay our head and get rest within ourselves, what is it that we are uneasy about, that we haven't found rest and peace with. Have you found your rest? Have you found your peace? What's peaceful to you? So you're seeking it. You will find it. You have to seek it. You have to be in motion. You have to release and surrender and be real about the things that you've built up that have been a false representation of you in your true authenticity, your true power, and allowing you to be the one that determines which path will be lit. You choosing the path that it is you'll go, right? More that Aquarius energy, being a true king of swords, being a person that is thinking clearly and not so much in my emotions, although my emotions are very much present in this full moon time and energy, in this cycle of revelation and exposure of my innermost feelings. I am still able to come from a place of wisdom, logic, be able to give orders to who? Orders to myself that make sense because I have sat and thought about it. I've taken the time to decide what is it that I'm struggling about this next step forward. Why am I feeling stuck when it comes to moving forward? What is it that I'm refusing to let go of? What is it I'm refusing to face the fact that it's dead? It's gone. That which we get built with our own hands is dead. It's gone. But you did it. You could have what God does, what the universe does, something a little more divine, something a little more fruitful, something that is life-giving, sustaining, gives other people life, gives you energy. Searching for your 10, go get your 10. But guess where you're going to get it? Guess where you're going to find what you're looking for? In here. Take a little time, think about it, and it's going to come. All right, so I'm going to pull just one final card before I wrap this up, before I end this full moon in Aquarius collective reading, general message. Again, if this resonates, wonderful. If not, no big deal. I'm going to pull one of the Starman Tarot, because I love the futuristic look about it. I love that it makes me think of like my visions in my future, So I want to pull this and say, what is the result of us doing the work, searching within, identifying, putting a name on those things, putting a name on those triggers, putting a name on those triumphs, putting a name on those victories, putting a name on what feels good, putting a name on what doesn't, identifying and applying pressure to shift the vibration to where I want it to go. What do I mean when I say applying pressure? I mean applying action along with that thought and that emotion, right? So let's see. What will be the result of us conquering our fears and stepping forward with boldness, taking action with what the full moon is revealing for us during this time? What will be the result? I'm sorry, I'm looking at this. I never had this card before, so it's funny that it comes up, which is another indication of the change. Not only the change, it's the number 5. So, that's definitely symbolic of, this is a turning point. This is change that's happening. It is the 5 of Swords, and in this deck, there's a warrior that is standing, and he is coming up against something that is approaching, but he's ready for it. He has his weapon in place. Let me show y'all real quick. Isn't that beautiful, all the detail in that card? So yeah, he has his weapon in place. Behind him, there's skulls, and there's dead, clearly there's corpse of people that have passed on, but yet he's still standing strong. He's illuminated. He's glowing, he has Kundalini energy just flowing through him. There's fire in the path, and he has survived evidently a lot. There's a power source, a different level of vortex, of energy that is above his head that is clearly fighting with him. It's moving with him, and he's able to, that's probably what's helped him make it through this warfare, right? Now, I'm looking a little bit closer, and there's, like I said, there's all these mountains, and there's all this calamity going on around him. And when I take a closer look, guess what it is that it looks like that he is coming up against? It looks like a shadow version of himself. Okay, a shadow version of himself that it looks like as it's being stood up against, and as they're standing up against that energy, there's power being released, but then there's like this gold hand that he's like tapped into, right? There's some sort of a power coming out of defeating that old demon, that old shadow aspect of yourself that you are finally facing. But guess what? You're not facing it alone. You're not standing up to it alone. You're standing up to it with sources, not just tangible, not just, unseen forces that are working with you, but you also have the knowing and the experience of battles that you've won before, that you're standing above. Okay, you're standing above. You have past victories. This, you're not new to this. This isn't the first aspect of yourself that you've had to defeat, that has had to die. Okay, this isn't the first aspect of yourself that it has had to die. So it will die, and that energy will move on. And you will have victory in that. Let me see what the author had to say about this energy. And here's what it says. 5 of Swords. In short, battle your inner demons. The compulsion to win. Keep a beneficial advantage. Letting the past pile up around you. When you resist it, you allow the past to pile up around you. And then acting out of integrity. Acting out of integrity. Being true to who you are. Okay? Act out of what is true to you. Don't continue to allow the dark shadow aspects of yourself to rule you, to scare you into corners, to keep you into a realm that is no longer yours. See, above his head, there's a whole nother realm that is waiting to pull him on up into as soon as he beats this level. You can't go to the next level until you defeat the demons and the whatever on that level, right? Again, I'm only using the term defeat your demons just to associate with that lower feared energy that people don't want to face. People don't want to be real about their demons, with their dark side, with their shadow side, with the sides of themselves that only get exposed when the full moon comes out, because that full moon goes ahead and shines light on those creepy crawly things that come out in the nighttime. In the nighttime. What's up, Ian? Hello, Marsha. How you doing, love? It's so good to see you on here also. After meeting you tonight, oh my God, I just got excited just seeing you hop on here, Miss Marsha. So how you doing? But talking about defeating those aspects and parts, allowing those aspects and parts of ourselves that don't serve us to die, and putting them in their place, and making sure that those aspects of ourselves and of our personalities, understanding them, knowing where they come from, knowing the roots, and not being afraid to address them. And I know, like, for instance, like in biblical references, they talk about calling that thing out by its name, addressing it by name, because when I address it by name, it makes it loud and clear that I'm identifying a certain familiar vibration that brings about a certain feeling. So when you can name it, you can zero in on it, and you can hit that thing, you can hit that target. So I know I may not be able, sometimes you may not be able to name what it is that your shadow side, who that shadow side is, or is it the devil? Is it him? Is it her? Is it somebody that makes me do that? No, it is an aspect of yourself that is still crying out to be heard and released, okay? To be faced, right? There's something in you that has to be able to, you have to step past that point of fear and just step into the courage that it takes to address that and say, listen, you can't defeat me. You can't scare me anymore. Although you've done a lot of damage in the environment around me is scary, I no longer will allow you to instill fear in me. Not only no longer will I allow, but the powers the power that is around me, the unseen forces that fight with me against what has restricted me, the unseen forces in this time of change just simply will not allow me to be defeated by those old self-sabotaging aspects of myself, of yourself. That's what's going to happen during this full moon for those of us who address and take the time to identify and visualize who it is that we truly are, the person that we truly are. Allow that person to speak. Allow that person to be exposed. Allow those gifts to be exposed. Allow that little light to shine. Allow your light that is within you to shine. Identify those things that are bushels in your life that are keeping that light from shining. Identify those beliefs and those ideas that you've built up with your own hands that didn't serve you. They did not serve you. And how do you know they didn't serve you? Because God, the universe, allowed those structures to fall down, because it's time for something new to rise up. What rises up? Well, what will rise up is that part of you that is courageous and no longer will stay in this world, in this realm of darkness, this realm of calamity, this realm of death all around you, this realm of darkness, this realm of warfare and pain. It's time for that aspect of yourself to be released, and for you to allow yourself to experience this new vibration, this new way of being. This part of you that really isn't so new after all. You just didn't get to know it. You couldn't get to know it because it was locked away in this, it wasn't exposed. That light wasn't exposed. Well, this is a time of exposure. This is a time of exposure, a time to be connected with the right people, with the right sources, okay? It's time for you to look at the fruit of your life, the 7 pentacles. Look at the things in your life that have been fruitful. Examine the fruit that you see. Examine what you've manifested so far. Examine the state of your mind, the health of your mind, the health of your emotional state. Are you emotionally stable? Are your emotions taking you here and there? Are you able to take your creative ideas and turn them into more than just something in your head? Okay? Are you okay with expressing that? Are you okay with being who you are? Do you know who you are? Are you taking the time to find out? All right? And before I close out, I like to intuitively read, but I also want to just dive just a little bit deeper. Time of exposure. Yes, exactly. It is the time of exposure. And the beautiful thing about exposure is sometimes exposure, it reveals all, the negative and the positive aspects. What determines whether it's negative or positive? Well, you get to determine what's negative or positive for you. But as you consider what has already manifested, and you're looking at what, is growing naturally. What does your body naturally respond to? Well, again, what are you seeing your body is pleased with, and allowing all your internal systems to function in sync? What's going on within your energy, within your body, within your family, within your, your community, all these things, right? We got to be able to look these things over and decide, am I manifesting what I want, or am I manifesting what I don't want? Am I manifesting what I desire, or am I manifesting what I dread? Because we are expert manifestors, but it's time to shift our energy, okay? All right, well, that's all, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this message, and we'll talk soon. Have a great night.